In San Francisco, faith leaders gathered outside City Hall to stand in unity following a number of immigration detainments in the city and in Southern California as well. ABC 7 News reporter Luz Pena got more clarity on what the city's sanctuary policy is and when officials are mandated to work with ICE agents. Luz is in the newsroom with more on this aspect of the story. Luz.
That's right. Today, for the first time, San Francisco's Mayor Daniel Lurie reaffirmed that this city will remain a sanctuary city for undocumented immigrants, words that many in the immigrant community had been waiting to hear, as ICE detentions have led to local protests and...
In a scene that looked more like a military siege than a courtroom morning, ICE agents descended on a San Francisco courthouse, snatching over 800 migrants as they exited their trials. What started as a day of legal defense turned into mass detainment. Families ripped apart on courthouse steps. Legal advocates were stunned. Why here? Why now? Why target those trying to follow the system? As we dig deeper, the answers only raise more disturbing questions. And the fallout may not be over.
How do you know it's ICE?
Yeah. Wow. Wow, this is f***ing intimidating. Oh my God. They're literally taking someone and they're trying to, oh my God. I'm serious. Seriously f***ed up. Oh my God. Oh no, there are more people coming. Oh wow, no, they're no, this just, I don't know what the is going on. What? There are people getting in front of the cars. Oh my God, they're running over the people in the cars.
San Francisco's justice system was brought to a screeching halt as ICE executed one of its boldest raids to date. Over 800 migrants detained in broad daylight, mid-trial, outside the courthouse. Officers moved with surgical precision, cornering targets, shutting down proceedings, and flooding the area with confusion and panic. But the bigger shock? This wasn't a home raid. These were people seeking justice, denied in real time. Is this immigration enforcement or a direct assault on due process? The lines are blurring and the public is watching.
Demonstrators tries to form a human blockade at a San Francisco immigration court today, trying to stop ICE agents as they attempt to move detainees from a courthouse to a waiting van. They shove their way through the protesters and push their detainee into the van. But the crowd moves with them, including several protesters who threw themselves on the hood. As some agents climbed into vehicles, others walked from one courthouse to another, with protesters following step for step. As agents reached the second building, another confrontation, including an agent throwing a man to the ground, and then a gray sedan pulls up. The crowd dispersed after that federal officer stepped out carrying what appears to be an assault rifle.
What unfolded next felt like a siege. ICE agents locked down the courthouse, sealing exits and turning a symbol of justice into a zone of fear. Migrants inside were left with no escape. Some grabbed mid-sentence as they spoke to judges. Legal observers described it as a tactical trap, executed without warning. The message was clear. Not even courtrooms are safe. For families who believed in the American legal system, it was a devastating betrayal. Over 800 deportations, many still in the middle of their hearings, became the chilling new face of immigration enforcement. ICE didn't wait for trials to end. Migrants were ripped from courtrooms mid-hearing, some while speaking in their own defense, in front of judges, in front of their families. One by one, they were marched out and loaded into vans, deported before verdicts were even reached. The operation was precise, ruthless, and silent. No warnings, no delays. Legal advocates say it wasn't just a disruption. It was a direct assault on due process. If people can be removed while still fighting their cases, what's left of the legal system?
San Francisco, a city so decrepit that The Guardian asks, why is San Francisco covered in human feces? That's a real headline, folks. It's real. And today in San Francisco, the far left weren't just dodging the human poop epidemic. They were attacking ICE agents trying to do their jobs. So much screech.
At the heart of the outrage is a constitutional nightmare. Can ICE legally deport people during their active trials? The law promises a fair and public hearing, but ICE appears to be rewriting the rules. While some legal scholars defend the move, others warn this crosses a red line, where immigration law overrides basic civil rights. If this stands, what's next? Can federal agents storm into any courtroom, any trial, and strip people of due process? This raid may have just set a precedent the courts and the country can't afford to ignore.
As mayor, I want everyone here, everyone, and across our city to hear this directly from me. In San Francisco, we value our immigrant communities.
Immigrants are a vital and inseparable part of our city, vital and inseparable part of our families, communities, workplaces, and neighborhoods. We in the Public Defender's Office believe in equality and opportunity for all. San Francisco will not use its local resources to deport immigrants and to undermine community.
The fallout wasn't just legal, it was human. Children sat alone in courtrooms, crying for parents who vanished without warning. Spouses were left staring at empty benches. These weren't fugitives hiding from the law. Many were in active legal proceedings, fighting for asylum, trying to stay with their families. Their removal didn't just sabotage their cases, it shattered lives. ICE's cold efficiency has drawn scathing criticism, not just from activists, but from judges and legal staff caught in the chaos. When justice is disrupted like this, the real question is, who's next? The courthouse erupted into chaos. Judges froze, lawyers panicked, staff scrambled. Years of preparation for critical cases, all wiped out in minutes. Trials stopped mid-sentence, victims and defendants alike left in limbo. But this wasn't an accident. It looked like it was built to shock the system. Can any courtroom function under siege? Legal experts say this wasn't just disruptive, it was dangerous. If immigration raids become normal inside courtrooms, what happens to justice? And more importantly, who's safe from being next?
Obtained by the San Francisco Standard, another man is seen being taken away in handcuffs. Millie Atkinson is one of the attorneys who represents people before the immigration court. Atkinson says this is unprecedented.
We've never seen anything like this before, and it's really scary for people to know that, they came here fleeing violence and persecution in their home countries from authoritarian governments.
The Department of Homeland Security says anyone who entered the country illegally within the past 2 years is subject for expedited removal. A spokesperson with DHS tells us in a statement, Secretary Noem is reversing Biden's catch and release policy that allowed millions of unvetted illegal aliens to be let loose on American streets. This administration is once again implementing the rule of law.
ICE's move to target people mid-trial reveals a shift that's as strategic as it is brutal. This wasn't about rounding up fugitives. It was about speed and spectacle. Deport first, ask questions never. By raiding the very places migrants seek justice, ICE sends a message: the law no longer protects you. Critics call it an erosion of trust, a dismantling of fairness disguised as enforcement. If this is the future of immigration strategy, then due process might just be the next casualty.
San Francisco has always been the gateway for opportunity and innovation and cultural exchange. San Francisco's public school provides, through our fantastic educators, our site leaders, and all of our staff, the foundational structure to nurture our youngest residents. We are here to ensure that all students have access to consistent, quality education, as well as build their sense of safety and emotional well-being.
Dragging people out of courtrooms during their defense isn't just a legal gray area. It's a moral flashpoint. To many, it's a betrayal of everything the justice system claims to stand for. These weren't criminals on the run. They were litigants with court dates, paperwork, and faith in the law. ICE's actions turned that faith into fear, and with no warning, no closure, and no justice served, many are asking, is America still the land of law, or just a place where law bends to politics.
Standing with faith leaders and immigration advocates, San Francisco's Mayor Daniel Lurie made his position clear.
These actions are not intended to fix our broken immigration system. They are intended to terrorize people. For decades, San Francisco has had sanctuary policies. That means our police officers and city staff do not assist with federal immigration enforcement.
In the last week, Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents have detained at least 15 people who showed up to their immigration appointments in the city, among them children as young as 3 years old and their mothers.
Mothers are being pulled off the street and separated from their children. It is inhumane. It goes directly against the values of this city and this country.
What followed was an avalanche of outrage. The ACLU, civil rights attorneys, even court clerks condemned the raid as unconstitutional. Video of children crying, parents being loaded into vans, and judges forced to stop proceedings lit up social media. Was this immigration policy or punishment? Many believe this was less about law and more about optics, about flexing federal power in the most visible way. And now, the public wants answers. Who signed off on this? And more importantly, who will be next?
Francisco became a sanctuary city 36 years ago, but the latest actions by ICE are causing some to question those protections. To get more clarity on what San Francisco is and is not allowed to do as a sanctuary city, we spoke to University of San Francisco professor of migration studies, Bill Hing.
The city cannot use any of its resources to engage in immigration enforcement. That means when it comes to resources, personnel, they're not supposed to ask about immigration status. And if they happen to find out, they're not supposed to pick up the phone and call up ICE.
Sanctuary laws do not stop ICE from entering San Francisco.
It doesn't mean that the city will put up a fence around San Francisco and keep ICE.
Now, legal experts say this operation may ignite a firestorm of lawsuits. Deporting people during court hearings could be ruled unconstitutional, and if so, ICE's entire strategy could face collapse. But others fear the damage is already done. If this becomes the new normal, what stops agents from storming custody battles, civil suits, or even jury trials? The San Francisco Courthouse raid may be remembered not just for the arrests, but for the dangerous new precedent it set. This wasn't a one-off. Some experts believe ICE is stress testing the justice system, pushing the envelope to see just how far they can go, snatching people mid-trial, cracking down in sanctuary cities, and turning legal venues into hunting grounds. If this becomes the new playbook, what stops other federal agencies from storming in next? Immigration enforcement may be crossing into a new era, one where no space is off limits and no moment is too sacred. Are we witnessing bold policy or the erosion of due process right before our eyes?
Federal immigration agents detained at least 4 undocumented immigrants at the San Francisco Immigration Courthouse today. This happened while they were appearing in court for scheduled hearings. KTV's Crystal Bailey joining us now live from downtown San Francisco. And Crystal, you witnessed one of these arrests.
Heather, that's right. Just outside the courthouse, we saw what appeared to be plainclothes immigration officers taking a man into custody and loading him up into an unmarked white van. And attorneys here say that was just one of 4 people arrested today. A man in handcuffs being loaded into an unmarked white van. The man, attorneys with the Bar Association of San Francisco say, was an immigrant applying for asylum, and he's not the only one leaving the courtroom in custody.
These are ICE officers coming to the court to arrest and detain individuals who are here following the law, trying to proceed with their asylum application.
This single event could reshape the future of U.S. immigration policy. As ICE grows more aggressive, public outrage is mounting, and so are calls for reform. But here's the terrifying part. Some officials are already calling for more raids like this. If this tactic spreads, no courtroom will feel safe. The question now is whether lawmakers will step in, or if ICE will keep pushing the limits unchecked. Is this just the beginning of a nationwide strategy? Comment below. Should trials be off limits, or is this the new face of enforcement?